Spartan fans, what is going on? Welcome into this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aidan Champion. We're in week 2 of fall camp, first scrimmage today, and it's going to be a big one. I think obviously fall camp brings a lot of questions of where position battles stand and which players are developing, who need to incoming freshmen who we don't necessarily know a whole lot about and where they're at. All sorts of questions, especially with this team, which, obviously coming off a 5-7 year, first year of a new regime, now looking to improve upon that and returns a lot of guys, also has some new guys, but still, I mean, nothing drastic occurred this offseason where you're thinking that there could be major improvement. I do think there will be improvement. I've said it, I keep saying it, but nothing, there were no moves made this offseason that kind of told us that this team will make a major jump, especially considering just how tough this conference is. But with that, that's why there's a lot of questions with this team, and I think it's going to be about the returning guys, particularly the ones who were key last year and need to take that next step. One of those guys, Jack Velling, and I don't think we're talking about Jack Velling enough. You've got one of a guy who could potentially be one of the best tight ends in the country on your team. That was the case going into last season. Remember, there was a lot of hype around Jack Velling. Him coming over from Oregon State, where he had some success, was going into his first season as an upperclassman, and the expectation was he was going to be a really good tight end, and it just didn't really pan out last year. And now the expectations are the same, if not higher. But you've got something really advantageous on your side with Jack Velling, and really, the whole tight end room. I think we're not necessarily giving enough credit to. Michael Masunas comes back. Obviously had a season-ending injury last year, but if you remember, he was pretty solid in those first games that he did play. And then Brennan Parachek, he's still coming into his own. But Jack Velling, that's a guy who could really be the difference maker for this offense. A lot of the focus obviously been on the receiving room, and rightfully so. I mean, the Michigan State did a great job this offseason with bringing in high quality receivers from lower level programs. So maybe nationally, they're not necessarily getting as much attention with that room, although, obviously, Krishan McCray and Omari Kelly did make the Blitnikoff watch list. Nick Marsh did not, oddly enough, but Nick Marsh also obviously going to be a guy to watch this season. Could be one of the best or wide receivers in the Big Ten. And so all that attention that those receivers will get should take some pressure off of Velling, who will now be able to kind of be a sneaky target for Aiden Childs, who, mind you, it will be going into his third season with Velling, played with him at Oregon State. So now, they've got 2 seasons together. There's that chemistry that they're bringing back. And Velling just made the Mackey Award watch list for second straight year. So, like I said, expectations are still high, but at the same time, I don't think we're necessarily looking at him enough because he really can be an X factor for this offense. He talked back in the spring about, things he struggled with. One, he changed his game, um, or tried to change his game, and uh, I think that based on the results that didn't work. Another thing, he struggled with man coverage. That was a big emphasis for him this offseason, creating separation against the defender. And so that's huge because with this stacked wide receiver room, there's a good chance you could see a lot of zone and zone defense. Tight ends can thrive in that when they, um, find those, sneak into those areas of the field that aren't being covered, um, kind of in between zones. So when he is put in a position where he is, he does have to face man coverage. If it is something he did improve on this offseason, he can take advantage of that. And, when other receivers when are getting double teamed and there's more coverage with them in man coverage, then you can find Velling, who you're going to be hoping is beating his man. So Jack Velling, based on those reasons, I don't think fans should be worried about possibility of him underperforming this season after having such high expectations being placed on him like last year because he's made the changes or at least tried to this offseason, knows what he did wrong last year, knows where he struggled, and then you're going to have a much better wide receiver room that'll kind of take the focus off of him. So I do anticipate a really great year for Jack Velling. And again, he's got that chemistry with Aidan Childs, and that's huge. He's got Brian Wozniak still as his position coach. Wozniak was with him at Oregon State. So there's that familiarity and overall just going to be familiarity now coming into his second year with the same program. It's his last year. He's got to make it happen, got to make it count. And I think he will. So I think fans should be very excited about what we could see from Jack Velling this season. So let me know what you think about these expectations and if you think that, yeah, Jack Velling will reach that next level he uh before he moves on from the college level. Hope you're all having a great start to your weekend, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in as always, and you can find all of our content on Michigan State Spartans on SI, giving you tons of daily content about your beloved Spartans and keeping you in the know throughout fall camp. Thanks again.